So, grew up in a Christian home.
I used to be an atheist. I come from an atheist family. I guess I was brought up with the idea that God is real and there's no real question about it.
It wasn't a light bulb moment.
I am Christian, but I don't go to church.
Grew up in a Christian home, and I know my parents have always supported faith.
My dad is very against the whole religion thing, and my brother is very unreligious.
I've been in a Christian family most of my life.
Nobody in my family was really religious, so
Yeah, like I didn't really grow up in a Christian family.
And my dad was a pastor. My dad is a pastor. My dad's dad was a pastor. My mum's dad was a pastor. So you could say we always had Italian at our house.
In year 10, I started going to youth group.
God's always kind of been there in my life.
So it's been a major part of my life, and something that's, always something that we discuss as a family and talk about.
I was struggling with some stuff, and I prayed to God just for a friend, because I didn't have any friends.
And I guess I just really felt God's love just wash over me, and I felt like a moment of peace.
I kind of go in and out of my faith.
So I think it's pretty cool to have someone out there who loves you unconditionally, like apart from your grandma or whatever.
I've just been getting a lot closer to God and getting to know Him more, and actually have devoted my life to Him that I haven't previously done, and it's been great.
I have a testimony about Jesus.
And I love God, and I've been enjoying being blessed by Him.
And yeah, that's kind of where I am right now.
I don't think I've ever been embarrassed about my faith, but resistant to kind of talk about it because I'm afraid I might sound stupid.
I guess I was embarrassed about my faith when I first came to a state school. We used to have RE classes, and I would know all the answers, and everyone else was sort of like, "You're a freak, what are you doing?"
Yeah, some people are like, wow, you go to church? Wow, that's so uncool.
Not so much now, but when I was younger, I just didn't know, because I've always kind of been in like the sick lad group at schools. I was being a bit worried about especially primary school, I was a bit worried about what people would think and stuff like that. So I tried to keep it on the DL, keep it on the down low.
It is hard, especially at school.
I think people always struggle as Christians fitting in. I guess it's that whole idea of having a relationship with someone that you can't actually see.
I guess around my family, I was sort of embarrassed at the start of like, now as I'm regaining faith because my family is against religion. Yeah, I kind of get persecuted and ridiculed, and I just feel embarrassed because that's not what they believe, but that's what I believe.
And they kind of judge about it, so I kind of pretend that I'm not. So I kind of caved to peer pressure and go, oh no, I don't believe in that. What?
I guess when I'm around people who aren't Christian, not so much that I act a different way, but sometimes I might talk the way they talk.
I guess there's always that idea of peer pressure going on, and I think in primary school, even though I went to a Christian school, it's still definitely there.
I guess as I got older, I learned just to be more confident about it.
Just afraid I might come across as a stupid Christian.
I don't think people would be afraid to talk about God. I just think they'd probably won't feel comfortable talking about it.
There's definitely people who question my faith and question what I'm doing.
They don't believe in it, so they think, I guess, that I shouldn't waste my time with it either.
He thinks it's funny to bag it out because he's little, and so sometimes I get defensive. I don't know why.
A lot of the time he'll make offhanded comments around me, I don't think on purpose, but that I don't agree with, and so sometimes I've had to say, actually, I don't think that's right, and which is really hard because it's your dad, and for so long they're bigger and more knowledgeable than you, and so to kind of stand up against them it feels funny.
I had to defend my beliefs and my right to have my own beliefs to my own parents, which was really, really difficult for me because they're the people that are supposed to know everything and are supposed to support you whenever.
I guess pride as well, and saying, why should I listen to someone else tell me what to do? This is my life, I do what I want. I'm going to have a baby, quote Nick Von Berkey.
I think particularly being in sports teams with other guys around, you know, different people who are involved in different things or whose social life are very different to mine.
I think people are afraid to talk about God because it's kind of like I think it's almost like a 21st century invention. Like, oh, we're too good and smart, and like the proper intellectual position is atheism because God's not real. Like, that's all just a myth.
And it's so much easier to just live life with the crowds and, you know, follow the trends and do what everybody else is doing.
I think there's a massive push right now towards free will and being an individual and like sort of doing your own thing, and I guess in a way Christianity sort of stops you from doing the stuff that like is popular and cool in our society.
Anything can always lead back to the people you surround yourself by, but being afraid of showing your Christianity and showing your faith is something I think Christians always deal with, and I don't think it's just a society thing. I think people are always afraid to show that they believe in something.
The fact of people judging them, I think that's probably one of the main ones that I've dealt with as well. Just, yeah, people going, oh, you're a Christian, and then like everything you say and do, you're like under the radar, the eagle eyes. Like, oh my gosh, you just said that.
A verse I read, I'm pretty sure it was in John, where Jesus basically is saying, don't be afraid of persecution, don't be afraid of people judging you, because people judged me first, I was persecuted first. So that's what I think of, like, God's your dad and stuff, so creator of the universe shouldn't be embarrassed about that.
Like, Jesus, he did like massive act, like he gave his life type thing, and you think you put that up in comparison to us being embarrassed or like being scared of what people will think of us, and you're like, well, Jesus kind of wins.
I really struggle with this personally, to, you know, show my faith and, you know, be strong in that. And I think, you know, how you do that is you just pray and, you know, spend time with God, thinking about it, and, you know, when the time comes, you know, you be brave about it and not just hide in the corner and such, if you know what I mean by that.
Everyone in the world's like, wow, this is only happening to me. I'm the only one who goes through this, but most of things, majority of things, everyone goes through. Like, no one's alone in this world.
Don't be embarrassed, because a lot of the time people want to like talk about it or want to ask questions, and you might be the only access to God they'll ever hear or see.
This isn't our only, like, this is our earthly life, but it's such a small proportion to what's ahead of us and what God has in plan. So the encouragement would be just to back yourself and like but have confidence in yourself and go, yeah, I am a Christian, God saved my life type thing, and just be confident in that.
It shouldn't be something that you're afraid to say, it should be something that you're proud of, and it should be something that you openly talk about.
God is such a good thing, and like when you get a good thing, you tend to want to share that with a lot of people, and that's the same with God. Like, the more you learn about him, the more you're like, hey, this is God is really good.